Monday, the unofficial start to summer for so many, but let us not forget what Memorial Day is all about, what it is. It is an opportunity for all of us to take a moment, think back to those that gave everything for our country. So important that we do not forget the purpose of this day. It is a beautiful one, though, at least in the world of weather. We take you outside to our Tower Cam network, and there, I believe, is that the Disney Fantasy? The dream? I don't know. I can't keep track. Either way, though, it's a mix of clouds and sunshine. It is a lovely, lovely start to the day across Central Florida. That's a look over into Brevard County. Don't let me forget, I've got a little bit of a story to share. One of y'all, Nancy Kendrick, sent me a note last night about a cruise ship that ran into some serious trouble over the weekend. So we've got to chat about that. But first, there's that shot from Port Canaveral. Let's move on and check in on our live first warning Doppler radar. Not skiing anything. Gotta love that. Yesterday, we woke up to temperatures in the 50s in spots. Today, I spy with my little eye, 60s and 70s. It's a little warmer, just a little bit warmer. Not too bad, though. 73 degrees in Orlando. It's 66 in DeLand, 65 degrees in the Villages, and 70 degrees in Winter Haven. So it's a lovely start to the day. I think it's going to be a lovely day as a whole under mostly sunny skies, nice, relatively quiet conditions. 85 degrees our 1 o'clock temperature, 89 degrees our 3 o'clock temperature. So beautiful, beautiful weather for us today. Another nice warm afternoon, 80s, kind of upper 80s across the interior. We'll be into the mid 80s back over to the shoreline. And with that, I'm going to take my first sip of coffee. It is so needed. I raise my cup and I say good morning to you. Okay. Yep, that's hitting. That's doing the trick. All right. Good morning to you. Joanne says, was 78 this morning in my backyard in Northwest Palm Bay. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a muggier start than yesterday. It's not a massive change, right? But there is a little bit of a change for sure. Listen, at the end of the day, you knew that wasn't going to last. 77 right now in Melbourne. So yeah, you knew that wasn't going to last. For today, if you've got out and about plans, if you're heading out to the attractions, for example, things are looking great here. Pleasant sunshine, warming up nicely. If you're heading over to the area beaches, certainly we know the beach is going to be a popular destination. Just a reminder, though, that UV index once again runs at an 11, which means that it's going to take you 10 minutes to burn. That's it. 10 minutes to burn. It's going to be another one of those days. Heading out to the beach, I feel like half of the people I know are heading that direction. Seas and surf are running 2 to 3. So things are improving, but the rip current risk continues to be high. So what is a rip current? Let's chat about that, all right? We had nearly 60 rescues at our Central Florida beaches yesterday. So what is a rip current? Well, think about it like this. When winds push in that water, okay, you get the water piling up at the beach, but somewhere, somehow, it has to start escaping back out. And it's this area right in here that's the rip current. You can't fight it. So what you have to do is escape by swimming parallel to the shoreline. That's the only way that you're going to be able to escape a rip current. Simple as that. And the more water we're piling up against the shoreline, the more of a concern this is. Swim parallel to the shoreline. High risk of rip currents at, once again, high risk of rip currents at our Central Florida beaches for today. Taylor says rip currents are the things I got purposely thrown into as a kid as a teachable moment to know how to get out of them. First off, I mean, that's terrifying. But second off, I guess different generations do different things, right? Like, I was never a strong swimmer as a child, so that was not the case for me. I was definitely not thrown into it. But I have, as an adult, felt it, and I know, half of my job, I feel like, during the summer months is making sure people know how to deal with rip currents. And so if there's one thing that you take from Coffee Talk this morning, it's this: that water piling up at the shoreline. And basically between sandbars are deeper channels of water where it's easier for that water to rush out. And what's interesting is if you look at tower cams, you can actually see those rip currents, that outward rush of water. I bet you if you go and chat with a lifeguard, you'd even be able to see that. They'd be able to point it out. But just make sure if you're heading that direction to the beaches today, because of these conditions, absolutely a big concern once again the rough surf and rip currents. The surf is calming down. It's really just the rip currents at this point. But it's like that silent killer. I posted it was like 59 beach rescues yesterday. You know, that's not nothing. So please be careful, people. Yeah. Thank you, Frankie, saying it's a great graphic. Thank you. It's dangerous if you're heading out. Now, I grilled last night, but if you're planning on grilling today, throwing some sausages on the grill, throwing some burgers and hot dogs on the grill, lunchtime's looking great. This afternoon's looking great. No matter where you are in Central Florida, we are looking absolutely fantastic. So let's do this. Let's check in on our Futurecast model and get an idea of what the rain chances look like this morning. A mix of clouds and sunshine, confirmed to be the case, right? There's lunchtime, still beautiful. 2:30, 3 o'clock, still looking good. Yesterday did have a couple of showers in Brevard. May see a sprinkle or two today. Model not really going too bonkers on it. And then, there's midnight tonight. We're fine. But for tomorrow, just take notice, it's going to be a little more active tomorrow than today, all right? By 11, 12 o'clock, we're adding in the clouds. And there you go, starting to see a few more showers. So what we'll notice is these next few days, we're going to start to rise the rain chances little by little. Beverly says 59 rescues in Volusia. Yeah, that's what I had posted yesterday. Beth says, sadly, we're searching for a body in the water up here in Jacksonville. See, and that's not what you want, right? If we can get the information out, I always try to err, and this is just me honestly, I always try to err on the side of caution, as in like, if you're swimming in the ocean on a rip current day, maybe stay super shallow, like super shallow. Like make fun of you because mom didn't let you go deep enough shallow. And today's going to be one of those days, right? It's not, that's why it's like the surf is only one piece of the puzzle here. That rip current risk is a significant additional player. All right, so really we have to pay attention to that. James, can we get that graphic somewhere for our friends and family visiting? I guess you just dial it back up on Coffee Talk. I don't know. That's one way to do it. I don't know. All right, so forecast high temperatures yesterday, today. They've been kind of trending warmer and warmer, and for today, we will notice we're getting right about where we should be this time of year. All right, so we're getting there, little by little by little. Ann says, my knuckleheads have to go up into their knees, so no beach for us. Yeah, I mean, it's best to be safe, right? At the end of the day, it's best to be safe. Now, my plan, I'm working tonight. I'm in for Manalfi, so my plan for before work is I'm not going to make it over to the beach today. So we'll do the pool. Looks great for that. Really looks great. Jenny says, my Mastiff Maximus is intrigued with your voice this morning. It just came over and plopped down to listen. Well, thank you. Good morning, Maximus. This is my voice when I didn't get any sleep. The kids, I don't know if they were in party mode or what. They just did not want to sleep last night. So when I tell you I was up from 11, got to bed about 9. I was up from 11 to 2:30. So this is what you get, which means I'm going to be one grouchy son of a gun for our 9 p.m. Facebook Live and our 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock newscasts. That I can promise you. What's the... I went down the wrong pipe. What's the average? I'm sorry, Chris. What's the average start of lower humidity fall? So when it comes to the dry season, it's so funny. We're always looking ahead, aren't we? The dry season typically starts in mid-October. So we're just transitioning to the rainy season. And speaking of like raising the humidity levels, etc., 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 look at our fresh muggy meter, okay? For us this morning, we're looking good. Tomorrow we're looking good, but notice by Wednesday into Thursday, we're getting into full-on humidity. And with that raised level, we will start to basically see those showers and those thunder showers firing back up. Yeah. So there you go. I mean, it works. It works. Listen, it works for me. Hold on a second. All right. Let's see here. October seems so far away, Joanne says. I know. Becca, good morning to you. I'm hoping tomorrow will be the day that they can come check the floors to see if my foundation is dry enough to lay the floors. Well, that doesn't sound like fun at all. Debbie says the low humidity has been wonderful these past few days. It has. And the entire time, I feel like a broken record because I've been saying things like, enjoy it while you got it. Bottle it up. Yada, 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 right? Today, what's nice is that we've got the comfortable start, but this afternoon we're going to get into showers and thunder showers later in the week. Yeah. Good times. Good times. My dog just sneezed all over my face and arm. Brian's asking if I could pull up the weather in Charlotte. Looks like today a few showers, but not too bad. Up in Charlotte. I have dehumidifiers and fans all over my house, and I really would like to have the floors done. Yeah, I can understand that. I can definitely understand that. If you're heading to Volcano Bay today, if you're heading over to Typhoon Lagoon, whatever you're doing today, as a whole, it's a beautiful looking forecast, my friends. I would just encourage you to find an opportunity. To take a moment and remember what today is. Maybe you don't have any family members that have given the ultimate sacrifice. Maybe you have. Maybe you have friends who have family. Whatever it is. That's what today's about. Remembering this is not to... I mean, listen, every day should be a good day to honor servicemen and women. But that's not what today's holiday is. Today's holiday is to remember those that gave everything. Okay? So let us remember that. That's all I ask. Enough soapbox, but that's all. Just find a minute. Just find a minute. That's all. That's all I ask. All right, so weather pattern these next couple of days, my friends. So here we are. What's kind of interesting, you see that low north of us? That's the Carolina low pressure storm system that was striking this weekend. Kind of drifts back off to the south and fades, and we still, for our Tuesday, are under the influence of high pressure. So what that means is that we'll get some showers, particularly down in South Florida. But for us, we should be nice and dry. Then into Wednesday, as that area of high pressure starts to lose its grips, we'll start to see more and more rain developing in our weather pattern. And thus, we're going to see rising rain chances around Central Florida. Little bit by little bit by little bit. So take a look at the next several days' time here, okay? Today, nice and dry. Tomorrow, mostly dry, sprinkle or two. Then Wednesday, Thursday, and then, of course, into Friday, we'll start to watch for showers and thunder showers aplenty. Yeah. Hold on one second, y'all. The boss is texting. So that was the boss. So, Yukon, I sent your posts to the boss, and the boss said, "Please have Yukon call me." So, anyway, it was kind of a funny moment. All right, Nikki said, Eric, you had something to tell us about a cruise ship. Okay, so do you remember that storm system that moved away from Florida, moved up into the Carolinas, and caused all kinds of nastiness up there? Do you remember that? Well, that was a doozy of a storm system. Hurricane Center came out and said it was not tropical. Thus, they were not issuing any kind of advisories on it, and that's fine. You know, I think that at the end of the day, that will end up being what it'll be. Maybe they go back and see that it was. Maybe they won't. But let me read to you an article. Okay. Cruise ship nearly destroyed and flooded as ship navigates nightmare sailing during a storm. Okay. Now, this is the Daily Mail. I'm not going to quote them, but I do see reports, and this is one of those things that we're going to be talking about. That we're going to be talking about tomorrow on the Tracking the Tropics Live. But the long and short of it is that there was a cruise ship offshore of the Carolinas. Okay. Let me see if I can grab this tweet and show it to you. If I can do this, let me just do new browser, scratch. Okay. All right. So here. New browser. Sorry, folks. Just give me 2 seconds. I want to share this with you. All right. Here we go. There. Okay. So what we're looking at here is, I guess it's like the deck of this ship. The Carnival ship that was in winds of 69 miles an hour. And that in and of itself, that doesn't look so bad, right? But let me see if I can get a link to this tweet. Like, that doesn't look terrible in that moment, but it got a lot worse. Copy image address. Okay, this is what I'm doing. I want to plug that in, and do that. Okay, there's the image. That's what I wanted to show you. All right, so this was taken on board the ship, and look on the left side. So position, latitude, longitude, course. So they're moving at 5 knots, but just below it, look at the diagram of the ship, okay? Apparent wind, 69 knots. Let me enlarge it so you can see it. Ship's time, 9:25 a.m. Apparent wind, 69 knots. That is 80 miles an hour. Okay? Now, I will tell you, I did not generate this image. A Twitter user did, at Flyers Captain. But you see that, and that is certainly the absolute last thing that you want to deal with, right, on a cruise ship. So, as we sit here, and I'll pop up the 7-day forecast just to chat, but, wrong one, sorry. But as we look to tropical systems, I think that the Hurricane Center really has this difficult position about warning versus getting into the monotony of, is it tropical, is it subtropical, is it extratropical, is it not tropical? Because at the end of the day, that was a mess. Yeah. I haven't heard anything of injuries. It sounds like the ship was pretty beat up though out there. Can you imagine you're sailing right into a hurricane? Now, a couple of things here, and maybe this is a good opportunity to get him on. But former Royal Caribbean chief meteorologist James Van Fleet used to be a meteorologist here in Central Florida, and he's leaving Royal Caribbean. I don't know why. They have a job posted for meteorologist at Royal Caribbean. I'm not leaving WESH, but there is a need for meteorological guidance in the cruise industry. But also, Taylor says National Hurricane Center dropped the ball. They just focus on, we're going to have a season. That's the struggle, though, is it's like, did the Hurricane Center drop the ball? Did they issue high, gale, storm system, and all this? Because if it was a powerful winter storm, but winter storms and kind of summer storms are different. And so it'll be interesting. I'd be curious to get James Van Fleet on just to chat. I don't know if he's done with Royal. Then if he's not done with Royal, I'm sure he couldn't talk about this. But at some point on our Tracking the Tropics Tuesday, I'm going to try and get him on to chat with us, because I think that there's a lot to unpack there. All right. Whether or not the Hurricane Center dropped the ball, listen. I mean, I think that it shows the social science element of, are there enough warnings? Are there enough? I'm sure they were putting out high surf, high wind advisories off shoreline, etc. Gale warnings and this and that. But is there enough awareness in the cruise industry even? And so, to me, I was witnessing. It was still frontal, but I was witnessing the core warming, so it was doing something. Bruce, maybe you could sing us a song. Yeah, you guys remember him. Yeah. Jim Van Fleet in the Rain. Wasn't that the band? I have his CD somewhere. So that was kind of funny. But anyway, Jim's a good guy, and I would love to get him on our Tracking the Tropics deal to chat about that a little bit. But can you imagine being on a cruise ship and sailing right into the equivalent of a strong storm system, whatever it was, tropical or not? Can you imagine that? I love cruising, but that's, I think that's where I would draw the line. I would not want that at all. At all. Not even close to it all. Man. That ship smelled very bad from all the vomit. Oh, God. Yeah. Make sure you're not wearing your... I mean, just like Taylor, like, seriously, can you imagine that? It's just like, what a mess. I just can't even imagine. I just can't even imagine it. That just sounds like such a mess. Just such a mess. Oh man. That's all I got, y'all. Like that's just where I'm at. And I have no desire to get into that mess. At all. Let's see here. So another week of rain and storms. I feel like Florida's weather has been so weird so far this year. I mean, it has. It's definitely been a weird year. Here, I'll dial up the Rainmaker machine. And yeah, that's like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's kind of where we're at. We're getting back to that rainy season. John, do they have weather radar on ships? I mean, I believe they do, but nobody will know this better. I'll have to ask him at some point. You know what? While I'm here, let me send him a note. I don't know that he'll be available tomorrow, but let me send him a note. Are you done with Royal? And if so, we could chat on a FaceTime show about this weekend's storm. All right, I'm reaching out and asking him if I can get him. I think it would be an interesting interview, at the very least. Ethan, I see the tropics might wake up this upcoming weekend. Yeah, we should chat about the tropics. First off, before we do anything else in the tropics, let's just take a moment and see the forest through the trees. As of right now, Hurricane Center not highlighting anything. Hold on, computer, go. Not highlighting anything. The tropics are nice and quiet right now. So there's that. There's that. All right. All right, let's do that, and that. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, so let's do this. And let's dial up our models. I'm definitely not awake, y'all, and I apologize for that. All right, so here we are. American GFS showing that low up around the Carolinas. Broad low. Yes, it's big, but, it's just lowering pressure is all. All right, so there we are. That's 12Z Saturday. Lowered pressure around Florida. I spy with my little eye a 997 low. Chris says, I never realized how polarized meteorologists can be before I follow them on Twitter. Oh, the meteorological community is a bunch of schmucks. There's some negativity there, y'all. So there's the American GFS model for Saturday. I would venture that that's the Nicole part of the pattern, kind of deepening and doing its thing, and then working up and away. All right, and as it moves away, and does its thing, and then look out in the Gulf. Little something there, perhaps. But you can see the American GFS model is waking things up. Let's head over to the European. And let's go back to the beginning. Lower-ish pressure over Florida. Nothing crazy here. Right? I would say that that's probably the Nicole part of the pattern. And then nothing else remarkable. So, yeah. There's some things. Hurricane season starts in just a couple of days' time, right? This much we know. Just 3 days away. So we need to be following. And because of that, again, and I've been shamelessly plugging this the last couple of days, but we've put a lot of work into this project. So just a reminder that coming up this Wednesday, it is our hurricane special, Surviving the Season. Be there or be square, people. Yukon, I used to follow a former WESH meteorologist on Twitter, but he's too entrenched in climate change for me to handle, Yukon says. I have a feeling I know who. It's more than just climate change. It's just people getting on soapboxes for the dumbest things. Okay. Some people are going to do that. So there you go. But Wednesday, Surviving the Season, be there or be square. That's a lot of work put into that little project. Join us. But the tropics are waking up these next few days, and I have a feeling we're going to be tracking some things. All right. Is the CMC model reliable? They all have their goods and their bads. That's all. They all have their goods and their bads. It's definitely Kyle. Kelly says, I haven't seen Kyle send anything abrasive. Oh, they talk smack about other mats. It's bad. I know. I know that I mute. You know, you know what's funny is on Twitter, I've muted. The ratio of my muting people is way more meteorologists than crazy viewers. The viewers are actually the nice people. The Mets are the real putzes in some cases. There are just some people that it's just like, hey, why don't you come back down to reality and not just be a jerk to everybody? Such is life. Such is life. Kelly says you could have just stopped with I haven't seen Kyle post anything and you'd be correct. It's true. All right, so there you go. Today, mostly dry for our Memorial Day Monday. Tuesday, a sprinkle or two. Wednesday, getting a little closer to that normal shower thunderstorm regime. And then Thursday, Friday into the weekend, our rain chances will linger. Hey, real fast. So I'm working tonight. So I will see you for 3:30 Coffee Talk. I will see you for a 9 p.m. Coffee Talk. And of course on WESH 2 News at 5, 5:30, 6, 10, and 11. I'm excited because I've got a new webcam ordered. Should arrive today. So Coffee Talk, since its inception, a couple of nerd things. Coffee Talk, since its inception, has been transmitting at a resolution of 1280 by 720. I'm hoping to join the ranks of 2010 and go 1920 by 1080. Now, the webcam is 4K, so that's cool. We could theoretically bring Coffee Talk to 4K, but the weather computer is only 1920 by 1080. So, such is life. All right, people, I will see you for... Taylor, you're fine. I will see you all at 3:30 for the afternoon Coffee Talk and on TV at 5. Sound good? Tiffany says, I don't know what any of that means. You know what it means? Right now, I'm just above standard definition, but we're going to go high def, baby. That's all. That's all. We're going to go high def. All right. Yukon says, with the new camera, you'll need the nose hair trimmer. I know, right? Chris said, you'll be able to see if I haven't slept. Right now, I'm glad because I didn't sleep very much last night. We'll get there, though. All right. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. Take care, y'all. Bye.